One day I was walking down the hallway so I could go to the bathroom, but then it suddenly started.
Do you like fundraisers and burritos? Well, there's a fundraiser for Chipotle coming up.
I love Chipotle.
I like Chipotle.
I love Chipotle.
Love Chipotle?
I love Chipotle because it's delicious, it's affordable, and I can usually get 2 meals out of it.
If you go to the Chipotle and use this promo code, 25% of your order will go to the Orchestra program, which helps us fund things like this.
Come to Chipotle Wednesday, May 1st, and this could be you.
So go get those burritos and start raising some money.
Howdy, y'all. I'm here to tell you about how y'all can survive the house system. Yeah!
It was just a normal day for Billy the Kid until he got to 6th period. And that was the day when Billy the Kid failed. The good thing about the house system is you can get back at your teachers during dodgeball games. Later that day at dodgeball, the house system is also a great way to get your homework done and bring those grades up, because we both know they ain't going nowhere. Billy the Kid fixed his mistake and changed that F to an A+. Patrick the Wrangling Rattlesnake, on the other hand, needs some help on his reading abilities. Nice job, Billy the Kid.
Panther News Network is a student-led class that produces news broadcasts every month. 8th graders who are in PNN learn about video production, leadership, filming, time management, and responsibility. PNN is a great way for students to express their creativity. Woodland Park Middle School has been producing PNN broadcasts for the past 14 years. The process of making a PNN broadcast begins with brainstorming. All of the stories that you see on PNN were thought out by your fellow students. After writing the script and interview questions, PNN goes out to the halls and interviews students. While this happens, the anchors are hard at work creating transitions. Once all the footage is uploaded, each group separately edits their story. Once the individual stories are done, we send them all to Addie, who edits them all together. All the brainstorming, writing, filming, and editing is all student-led.
PNN is important because it allows you to have new experiences and get to learn how to work different things like the camera and learn how to edit. It just gives people entertainment. It's important because it informs 6th and 7th graders about what's happening in the school and things they might not know about otherwise.
I have learned how to work with others without screaming at them and how to edit. I recommend PNN because it's a really fun class and it gets you a lot of video editing experience.
Because it's a new experience that not a lot of people get to do, and it's fun.
I'm here with
Mrs. Barry.
What's the craziest thing that has ever happened to you in PNN?
Kind of this one thing that keeps happening every year. I've noticed in you guys' PNN this year that all the kids are still getting in the trash can and pushing it around. It seems to be the thing. Back in 2008 when this thing started, they started getting in the trash can and pushing kids around. Have you ever gotten in the trash can on camera?
No, I'm much too sophisticated for that. I would never, ever, I would never. Why is PNN important?
I think it's a great class for kids to take, and it gives them leadership within the school and a responsibility. And all the 6th and 7th graders look up to the PNN team.
How has PNN changed over the years?
When we first started out PNN in 2007, 2008, we were in that classroom right over there. That was the studio. I got a grant and we just made it happen. Hasta la vista.
When we finish a PNN story, we celebrate by hitting the cowbell.
Hello, we are students from Horizon School Broadcasting Network. On this Veterans Day, we want to honor the incredible people who have volunteered and sacrificed to keep us safe. To our veterans, thank you.
My name is Tristan, and thank you to the veterans.
Hi, my name is Christian. I wanted to say thank you to the veterans.
Veterans have changed my life because I grew up in a military family. The sacrifices that are made by the families and the veterans has blessed me in many ways.
Well, my dad's a veteran. He was in the Army for 30 years, so it directly affected me. I got to see the sacrifices he made to keep people in our country safe.
Hello, my name is Mr. Sweeney, and I would like to say thank you to the veterans.
Hi, my name is Julian, and I'd like to thank the veterans.
My name is Debbie Brown, and I would like to say thank you to all the veterans.
I think it's just a way to remember all the people who fought for our freedom and are still fighting for our freedom. And as a history teacher, I also think it's important to kind of reflect on that, and it's a way to thank veterans and to honor them, especially if they sacrifice their lives for us.
Veterans Day means taking time to honor and respect, acknowledge the sacrifices of veterans and for our country, and also their family members as well.
My name is Raylan, and I'd like to thank the veterans.
My name is Nia, and I wanted to say thank you to the veterans.
I mean, they have kept our country free. As a history teacher, we learn about all the rights we have, and we wouldn't have all those freedoms if it weren't for the veterans.
I know that we are safer because of our veterans and their service.
Thank you, veterans.
All right, so do you think you have potential to help people as, 12-year-olds, 13?
Yeah.
12-year-olds, all right. So at age 12, do you think you have the potential to help people with something like the Digital Legacy Project?
I think that we definitely do have the ability to help people with our Digital Legacy Project because, we already did, because we got 1,000 pairs of shoes, and then once we got the money from the shoes, which is about $1,070-something, all of that money went to help a school in Kenya.
And we were able to help the school in Kenya by rebuilding their washrooms and putting in a new sink that has filtered water, because the washroom that they had there, it was about ready to collapse, and someone could have been really hurt. So I would call this project really big, and it helped a lot of people even in the same country that we live in.
And all of the shoes went to homeless shelters, so then the homeless could have shoes to wear because shoes are an important thing. So I think that really has just impacted a lot, and it's a really incredible thing to think that we've been able to do something like that.
This project started out with our 6th grade middle school, which is 100 kids, and then it grew to 1,000 students, basically the whole school. And then it grew to about 50 schools worldwide that are proceeding with this project as well through Microsoft.
And we got to pie Mr. Honeycutt in the face. It was probably the highlight of my day.
And what do you all hope to accomplish with this project?
So we all want to accomplish to save this one school in Kenya called the Hip Academy.
The middle one is white and gold. Okay. You see that as white and gold?
I see that as white. Okay, you should start filming.
I see it as blue and black. But that's definitely white and gold. Okay, but if you tilt the computer like this, I see it as white and gold.
You're crazy. That is definitely white and gold.
Look at it from here.
From this angle over here, there is no white and gold.
Right there.
I still see blue and black.
How about now? Still blue and black.
What?
What about now? Still blue and black. What about now?
This?
That's white and gold. That's blue and black. White and gold. Yeah, I think you have to change the angle. What do you see from the camera?
That's what I was just wondering. If I go up, it's white. Oh, but when I go down, it's
yeah, see?
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, that makes a little sense.
Please enjoy this color controversy coming to you live from the 8th grade hallway. This is called How Do You See It?
This year, our wrestlers had a great season. Let's go check it out. Hi, I'm Kai. I'm here with
Jasmine. Temperance.
What grade are you guys in?
7th.
How long have you guys been wrestling?
Almost about a year. 3 years.
And then who got you into wrestling?
Her. My older sister.
All right, and then how do you feel about like girls wrestling?
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right. Hi, what's your name and what grade are you in?
My name's Lily and I'm in 8th grade.
How long have you been wrestling for?
For about 3 years.
How do you feel wrestling as a girl?
I think it's cool because I like to make boys cry.
Thank you. Wrestling is a sport that requires a lot of endurance. It has 2 people on a mat, one from our team, one from the opponent's team. You have to pin them and make sure that their shoulders are down for 3 seconds to earn your points. Hi, I'm Brendan and I'm here with
Coach Chad.
How old were you when you started wrestling?
I was in 7th grade.
Why would you recommend wrestling to the students?
Wrestling is a very tough sport that teaches you how to compete individually, but yet as a team still. And a lot of the lessons that we teach in wrestling are really helpful later on in life.
And one more question. Why did you start to be a coach?
So I actually started coaching just to help out with the local club. and it's grown from there. And now I coach the youth club. I'm an assistant coach there. I'm the assistant coach for the high school girls team, and now I'm also the head coach of the middle school team.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Great job, wrestlers. This year, our Woodland Park wrestlers won first place in the league tournament down at Canyon City.
Have you ever done something dumb? Trust me, I have too. It could be hitting your sibling or getting hurt.
One Halloween I was throwing eggs and hit somebody in the neck.
Was not getting it straight that I wanted to be a teacher until I was almost 40 years old.
A truck on a dirt road and almost flipped it.
I fell off my bike, not paying attention. I ran into the mailbox.
I hit my brother really hard.
Been caught on my phone.
I was playing a game with my brother and I was supposed to sneak away, but instead I screamed.
I think it might have to be breaking my wrist doing Zumba.
This is kind of difficult. I've done a lot of dumb things. I am a firm believer that you can learn a lot in dumb moments. So I'm going to choose a dumb thing that I did this year. So the dumb thing I did this year was try to do an experiment with fire without a proper space to do fire experiments. So there was a day with an unplanned fire alarm. You're welcome, everybody. But also, don't be like me. Make sure that you have all of your safety equipment in place, ready to go, and everything is set before you try doing your experiments.
Why did you become friends with them?
Because they were in my friend group at the time, and I thought that was going to be a good idea, but I just looked dumb.
I was young, a teenager, and thought it was funny.
Probably because I was the first in my family to graduate from college, so I wasn't very goal focused other than just trying to get a diploma. So I think I didn't think it through till I grew up.
Because we wanted to have fun and we had just fixed the truck.
Because he made me really mad.
Because I was bored in class.
I panicked.
Because Zumba Fuego.
So I was really excited to try to show my students how we can convert electrical energy into thermal energy. And so we were showing how we were able to do the motion, the actual movement of electrons between objects by having sparks jump. And I'm not going to give you all the details of how I started the fire, but what happened was in this conversion from electrical to heat energy, some of that energy ended up on an object it wasn't supposed to, and it ended up smoking and it put off a lot of smoke. Luckily, no large fire. In fact, it happened right here in front of us.
If you could go back in time to change it, would you?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, because I have that much more time working with students under my belt, and it would be that much longer of a career doing what I love to do. So, yes, I would definitely go back and change that.
Yeah, I would have made it where we've gone farther and done it.
As I have the scars. It hurts.
No, because he deserved it.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think I would stop practicing Zumba. I might pick up my feet, though. Yeah, I think that's what I do.
So I've already said this to Miss Burrell when she asked me what did I learn, and I said, go bigger, because then insurance would have had to pay for a new building. However, I did end up quite emotional that day. I was distraught. I could have hurt my students, like my actions could have led to my students being hurt, and that is something that I am not okay with. I definitely regret it happening. I will be doing trainings before I ever do any kind of fire experiment again or electrical experiment again to make sure that not only am I doing it in a safe way, but I also want to make sure I have a safe space.
Now you know the dumb things that our teachers and students have done.
Fresh water. Something we all take for granted. Luckily, most people have access to clean drinking water. Some people right here in Teller County, however, may not have that option for long. 4 years ago, water officials said they were going to shut down the Gillette Flat Spring, a natural spring that supplies water to locals. Luckily, a group of people have delayed the spigot's closure. Some locals use the Gillette Flat Spring as their main source of water, including some students and staff at WPMS.
PNN interviewed people to get a complete history of this historical spring and reasons why it should stay open.
And it is a natural spring, some of the best water you ever want to drink.
Bill Buchanan was a resident of Gillette for 38 years, and he used the Gillette Flat Spring frequently. He even replaced one of its pipes during winter.
It's a natural spring that was developed in the early 60s to water cattle that were grazing there. Prior to being developed, it was also an area where the trains that went in and out of Cripple Creek, where they stopped to get water.
Chancey Slim Loop, a retired excavation contractor, helped develop the Gillette Flat Spring.
A guy by the name of Roscoe Hall hired me to come in and develop that spring. Back then, the government used to pay the ranchers and farmers a certain amount to develop a spring into stock water use only. And, and as time went along, people got to stopping and filling their gallon jugs.
The Gillette Flat Spring flows through a land with a rich history. Over a century ago, Gillette was a booming mining town. At one point, Gillette had its own baseball team and hosted the first and only bullfight in U.S. history. Most of the town was taken to Denver during World War II and repurposed as barracks. The rest was washed away by a flood. The Gillette Flat Spring is a remnant of Gillette and is important to Colorado history. We asked Slim and Bill why it is important that the spring stays open.
Besides being unique, why not have it as something for the public and people to know besides just closing it off and shutting it down?
It is important that water stays there because there are people who live in Teller County that cannot get good, sufficient drinking water or water to use in their homes. It belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to a government. It belongs because the people are the government.
While drinking water is something that most of us have access to, this reality is under threat for hundreds of Teller County residents. If you wanted to get involved, sign the petition down in the description to keep the conversation going.
This year, band and choir students had the opportunity to go to Elitches. Unfortunately, due to the snow we received, the Elitches trip for band was canceled. Choir, on the other hand, was still able to go. They went to Arvada High School to compete in a musical competition. From there, they headed to Elitches and had fun riding rides and eating food.
Hi, I'm Abby, and today I'm here with
Malia Duarte.
So what are you most excited about for Elitches?
I'd have to say I'm most excited for seeing our songs come together after we've practiced so hard, and of course, riding roller coasters in Elitches, so...
Awesome! Hi, I'm here with
Audrina.
So what are you most excited about for the Elitches trip tomorrow?
Just going on the roller coasters.
Nice!
Probably being able to sing with high schoolers and middle schoolers, and riding all the fun rides.
I like just being able to go hang out with my friends and go on the fun rides.
The rides were fun, but singing was really nice, and the whole experience was just overall really good.
Definitely the mind racer and hanging out with my friends, and we sang very well.
Hey, I heard something about the choir doing really good in their music competition.
Yeah, didn't they get first place?
They sure did.
Great job, Panthers! Don't forget, if you participate in band and choir, you might have an opportunity to go to Elitches, unless it snows 16 inches.
Oh man, the dance is coming up and I have no one to go with. I have 0 pulls and 0 game.
It's okay, Luke. I'll go with you.
Guys, can you help me save this house help?
Oh, yeah, of course. What? Oh, I messed it up.
What? What the heck?
Alright, give it a shot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No! How about we do, what did Ron, oh no! What did Ron, Hermione, and Harry do, right? What did Ron, Hermione, no!
You did it! That was it!
Ugh, so immature.
Instant replay.
Ugh, so immature.
Slow-mo.
What is the difference between your account and your MA account? I'm just
Potter, you're 10 seconds from being late. 10 points for courageous.
Oh, did you hear about that homework?
Guys, I said quiet on the set. Do you even know what those words mean? Oh my god. And I'm filming. Awesome. Okay, so I promise I'm not this bad or angry of a teacher. All right.
We should show that.
Yeah, we should.